Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, Madam Toastmaster, When-itis. When-itis is a condition that prevents you from being happy in the present. Anybody ever heard of When-itis? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be happy when I get a degree. I'm going to be happy when I get married. I'm going to be happy when I get that house. But we don't live in the future, we live in the present. I want to share with you a couple of stories that demonstrate what When-itis is. And the good news is there's a very easy cure for it. Paula, I thought, stole my thunder a little bit because the cure involves whether or not you can transmit When-itis by touching people. Well, by the time I'm done, we'll know how When-itis is transmitted, and we'll also know the cure. When I was a young guy, like most young people, I thought that the world revolved around the end of my nose. I was invincible. Nothing could hurt me. When I came back from Vietnam, after being drafted out of high school, I had an experience that really didn't mean much to me until my father passed away. The experience was he introduced me to a bunch of his friends at the local pub as his son Steve, a veteran. I thought nothing of it because I had this disease, When-itis. I said, geez, I'm never going to be anything. I don't even have a college degree yet. How could I be proud of just being me? My father passed the next year, and I never got to tell him that I think I understood why he was proud of me then. When my son-in-law came home from Gulf War I, we made sure that we had a big sign in our driveway that said, "Welcome home." I didn't want him to suffer from When-itis. Second example is a good friend of mine. I worked with him for many years. He was the head of a software development team. I was the head of a hardware development team. We were designing products for the government, electronic test equipment. This gentleman, if any of you have seen the movie Brilliant Mind, I think that's what it's called, Brilliant Mind. John Nash. My friend's name was John, his last name was Katara, but I think he was probably a similar ilk. He had multiple advanced degrees. He got an advanced degree in electronics, no easy feat. Then he got another one in chemistry, easy or harder, I don't know. My hunch is equally tough a defeat. And when I left the company where we were working together, he was in school pursuing another advanced degree in power electronic design. I remember thinking, gee, John, it is like being in another world when you're in a lab working with people like that. They're world changers, but they're not going to be on the stage showing their teeth and how popular they are. They change the world because they know how to concentrate and they know how to spend long hours or weeks or months or years working on projects. People like John are found in the research field for electronics, medicine, DOD, DARPA stuff. Very, very bright guy. John had When-itis too. I'd say, John, what's new? Oh, Steve, I just got a mountain bike. Oh, cool. Well, I not only got one, I got three. What? Well, I got one, I didn't really like it, so I went and got another, and the next thing you know, John had 3 mountain bikes. So I said, oh, great, John, when are we going to go mountain bike riding? Well, you know, I got a lot of things on my plate, Steve. I'm buying it. I'm pursuing another degree. John had When-itis. It was always the next challenge, the next thing. He could never stop and smell the roses. So my question to you as a group tonight is, how do you cure When-itis? How do you catch it? If you have it, can you transmit it to people? Shake their hand when you get it? Exchange body fluids? What if you grow up in a household where all you hear is, I can't, you never will, you won't amount to anything, you're not going to be anything, you're not as good as others, and so on. You think that'll give you a good case of When-itis?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You never think you're good enough. Oprah Winfrey tells a great story about her first producer said, well, you're going to be great. She said, no, you know, I'm going against this giant, Phil Donahue. Nobody can go against him. I'm black and I'm fat. And the producer looked at her and said, that's right, Oprah, you're black and you are overweight. But you have something that most people can't buy. You engage people. That was her special quantity, her special characteristic. There are a lot of examples of how words change us. I'll bet if we could go around and spend 10 minutes asking everybody, what do people say to you that you remember today? That's the power of words. The way to cure When-itis is by saying, you know, you really look nice tonight. You know, you might not know it, but you have this wonderful quality. When people hear you, they hear this. You know, I love your work ethic. It's just amazing to me how hard you work on things. I work with a lot of students who are not exactly kids that are in the Gates programs. And almost all of them suffer from When-itis. They just didn't grow up in an environment where they're getting those positive strokes. One of the things I love about our organization is we always give each other positive strokes. I've been around the organization for about 4 years. I know that I've never left the club thinking, you know, this isn't a good organization to belong to. This is a great organization to belong to. I think it's the best deal in town for people with When-itis. So the next time we have a chance to talk one-on-one, remember, I still suffer from it. So a word of encouragement, smile, pat on the shoulder. I love it. Madam Toastmaster.